how do you get over the anxiety you have before going to stressful places, i.e., where you know your symptoms will flare up? And that's another thing that people say, I know that they will flare up. Does that become a self-fulfilling prophecy to people, or should they drop that lingo? I always try to say where they may flare up, like we don't know that yet. But if you go in with that thought that this is going to happen, is that
Mhm.
setting yourself up for a bit of a challenge?
Yeah, and I think going back to that idea of setting yourself up for success, if you know it's a situation which you're going to get overwhelmed, it doesn't mean avoid that situation altogether because now you're making no progress. But it means maybe you have to adjust what that exposure looks like. So, for example, if I'm treating someone with a panic disorder or a phobia of some sort, we actually start by picturing going there. And once picturing going there is no longer overwhelming, then we start thinking about going there. Maybe we set a date, we plan for it. Maybe we stand outside the building. Maybe we stand near it. Maybe we set someone else to come with us so that there's a support. And it may actually be 10 or 15 times where you actually go and do that. But the likelihood of doing that preparation is also signaling your nervous system that this is not a threatening activity. I'm not going to be harmed by doing this, by setting gradual steps to get there versus just saying, for example, grocery stores are really difficult for a lot of concussion patients. So by saying, well, I have to go grocery shopping, so I'm just going to put myself there and I'm going to do it every week. That might be too much, right? And I know there's all sorts of logical reasons why you might still have to go. But if you can think about doing it gradually, where maybe you bring a support person and you just go in for one item and then you ask them to pick up 3 items for you, or you go in and just stand there for a few minutes and then leave and you go back the next day. So you're building up that safety. I want to use that word again, that you don't have to go into that fight or flight mode, knowing that there might be a perceived threat in whatever circumstance it is. So it all kind of comes back to the nervous system and learning to work with those sympathetic activation. And if we gradually learn to expose ourselves, we're most likely going to allow ourselves to go back into that parasympathetic state where we know we're safe.
Mm.
So going to the grocery store might still be uncomfortable, but it might not be scary or it might not bring on anxiety.